Though in ruins now, the excavations and restorations done by archaeologists of our land and those from overseas have given evidence of the complexity of the society which habited these cities. The constructions and the facilities that were wrought by architects and artisans of those ancient times and the sophistication with which they solved their problems in engineering and design remain a cause of wonder and delight. In that age, these tall structures that reached skyward, beautifully shaped and constructed of millions of clay bricks, were among the few tallest man-made objects on the planet, and were sharing that honor with the great pyramids of Egypt. Clearly, this ancient city was also inextricably linked with Buddhism, and the many edifices and monuments confirm the royal patronage this philosophy was accorded when it was adopted by the king of Anuradhapura as the religion of state. Following upon his first-person encounter with Prince Mahinda the monk, who was the son of Mauryan Emperor Ashoka. Here on this rock is where they are supposed to have met and engaged in deep philosophical dialectics. According to the chronicle of the dynastic succession of the kings of Anuradhapura, Sangamitra, the sister of the princely monk Arahat Mahinda, brought with her to this capital a branch of the tree under which the Buddha was said to have attained enlightenment. That plant, which grew to be an enormously luxuriant tree, often venerated by devotees, is the oldest historical tree on record, and may be viewed even today, still flourishing more than 2,000 years since it was first planted at the same site. At the height of an era associated with the full glory of Anuradhapura, a few kilometers southeast, an enigmatic monolith that stands solitarily high above the plains captured the imagination of the kings and priests. It was first a monastery. Later it grew into an amazing center of worship and artistic efflorescence. Some scholars see in this amazing display of frescoes, pleasure gardens, imaginative landscaping technology, and sophisticated non-invasive engineering methods a deep and reverential act in harmony with Mahayanist philosophy. Some others prefer to think of this as the creative commitment of an aesthete royal named Kashyapa of the 5th century, who was said to be a fugitive in hiding until he was killed 18 years later. Be that as it may, Sigiriya remains for all to view and marvel. Another of the famous World Heritage Sites of UNESCO, attempts were made to nominate this an 8th wonder of the ancient world. Archaeological work still continues apace as more and more surprises are unearthed, indicating the advanced civilization that once was able to fashion nature in so outstanding a manner, with superior knowledge of hydraulics, to enable them to make water bubble forth from hidden and unknown sources far away. Nearby is another enigmatic rock mass, Dambulla. A fugitive king was in hiding in the caves in the 1st century and later was restored as ruler in the capital following a successful attack against his enemies. In honor of his victory, he converted his hiding place into a magnificent rock monastery, which, with royal patronage over the centuries, had more murals and sculpture within these cool spaces, providing visitors of today a magnificent glimpse of an indigenous artistic tradition. Hydraulic engineering was certainly a forte amongst these ancient artisans of Lanka. Some amazing feats were achieved in those times, such as building dams and sluice gates, with gravity as the motive force for the control of the flow. modern-day engineers cannot help but marvel at the skills that are evident in the reconstructed reservoirs, which may be seen today. In the medieval period, when the capital was moved from Anuradhapura to Polonnaruwa further eastward, there arose a king named Parakrama, who was renowned for his conservation of water resources. He continued to develop the extant technology to harness every drop of water in the service of man. 600 miles of channels interconnected a network of massive water reservoirs, which then provided a year-round irrigation to all. Polonnaruwa is also fascinating with its aspect of the fusion of Hindu and Buddhist culture in a glorious outpouring of artistic talent brought to bear in the stunning stone sculpture and other intricate edifices. These all belong in the medieval period from the 11th to the 13th centuries. Abundant inscriptions still extant on stones give clarity to the royal edicts referred to in historical accounts. These also reveal the manner in which municipal order was maintained and of the services expected of civil servants of those times. This was also a period of tremendous agricultural production and efficiency. Coinage and other artifacts unearthed by archaeologists give evidence of trade with other nations near and far. Persian, Greek and Roman, as well as Chinese and Cambodian embassies were part and parcel of governmental affairs of the royal court of Polonnaruwa. Since the island was linked with the ancient Silk Route that ended in China, many were the famous travelers of old who passed through, not least Marco Polo and the North African sailor Ibn Battuta. Among his recorded impressions is his startling personal discovery of the sacred mountain with its unmistakable sharp shape high above the surrounding mountain range. When Ibn Battuta climbed the rock, it was known to many of his contemporaries as the place where the footprint of Adam was to be seen. He also acknowledges that while many Muslims held that view, there were others of the people of the land who venerated the same footprint as that of the Buddha. Another example of the fusion of cultures that happens with ease in this multifaceted island. The seasonal climb is during the dry winter months of December to March.
Otanin Mahagiri Dambaya Nagine
Otanin Mahagiri Dambaya Nagine.
The definite temperate climate that prevails in the central hill country of Sri Lanka drew the attention of British colonials of the 19th century and today still offers a wonderful holiday experience. Lovers of golf are also drawn to the first-rate 18-hole golf course at Nurelia. The modern variety, which is Nurelia, boasts of excellent accommodation and superlative scenic attractions in the breathtaking views among the mountain ranges. Among the world-famous Ceylon teas, the product that comes from this region is ranked as among the finest in the world, recognized for its distinctive color, aroma, flavor, and bouquet. Thousands of hectares of tea bushes and the factories for the exact and precise processes which bring tea in your cup greet the eye as you travel about the mountain roads. waterfalls within this tea country are truly worth a second look. The southern city of Galle holds special attraction, for it was an ancient port which later became a bastion of European presence in Sri Lanka, marked first by the Portuguese in the 16th century, later the Dutch, and the same was true after the British administration reached island-wide in the 19th century. The Dutch-built fort city of Galle is now a highly favored destination for travelers, especially those from Europe. This, too, is a World Heritage Site, which has benefited greatly from the largesse of the present-day Kingdom of the Netherlands. The restoration and preservation of the artifacts and locations of historic significance continues in the foreseeable future. This is the most beautiful country of its size, were words written by Marco Polo. He certainly knew what of he spoke. A first-hand encounter is the best way to learn more of the special allure that defines the resplendent isle. One can have fun in the sun and frolic in the waters, diving and boating, up in the balloon, or under the jungle canopy. Study history, archaeology, ancient hydraulic systems, and the winning ways of people. Play games. And immerse yourself in sumptuous luxury. After all, this is a land like no other.